Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On 2nd and 9, Jones. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for the Giants.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And his first carry, he loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Going for it with Sanders. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Now, these two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they are looking for the sweep here at MetLife. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Running left, it's Henry. First down and much more for Henry. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
A first down carry for Henry. Pushes him over. And he's got room. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 48 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game. Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Running from the gun with Henry. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there, having discipline and not letting them connect up.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football, as they've got it 2nd down and 12. Throwing, Jones. Open man left side, it's the tight end, Tunyon. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big play that time on a catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Giants. Deshaun Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Ernest Jones in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball. And
this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Off the play fake, Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, what a move. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Rolling to his right. And he will be out of bounds after a nice pickup. And that will also lead us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Runs over it, and down inside the 15 he goes. 42 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a handoff to Ingram. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5 from the 8. Off play action. Jones. Throw right side into the hands of the tight end Long. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Or forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. It's caught inside the 25. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Ryan. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Ryan. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Ryan will throw again. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. K.J. Osborne in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the lead is down to a field goal. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. Running right through him. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Henry. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now it's Ryan. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. They'll run for it with Henry. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
And Derrick Henry with the ball in his hands, what a sight to behold, because power and speed involved in every touch for him. Coming off another spectacular season with the Titans, he became the first since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and 2007 to win 2 straight rushing titles, and he did it with style, too. Just the 8th man to top 2,000 yards, and the first since Adrian Peterson in 2012. He has his sights set on another 2,000-yard season.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. And there's also a flag to go with it. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A shotgun handoff to Henry. Powers through him. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 77 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff to Henry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods. I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense. We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's got this down to the 35.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
A good push there from that offensive line as Sanders able to take that forward for a gain of about 6 on first down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On 2nd down, Ingram dances by him. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown. Miles Sanders. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 131 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Play action, Ryan. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Ryan, a little pop pass, jet sweep. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. With Ryan. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. O.J. Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They'll roll him out right. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it. And that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down, they go again with Henry. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, Henry. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Here's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line.